Today we're going to do a herbal jam. Now, some of you probably got recipes from grandma or mum on how to make really nice jams. This is a way of using herbs in a jam form, so that again you can give them to people who don't want to necessarily take herbal tinctures. And this is a nice way to, even especially with kids, to get kids to be compliant with taking herbs, because you can add in the sort of herbs that you want to give them into a jam, and I'm sure they're going to have jam on their toast or bread in the morning, or even their jam sandwiches. So, and also makes a really good gift to give to people, a nice little jar with some nice herbal jam in it. Today what I've done, I've made a decoction of herbs, which is, I simmered this for about 45 minutes to an hour, actually probably an hour, just to make it really strong. So I put hawthorn berries in here, which are really good for the heart, some Schisandra berries, which are a nice tonic, some wolfberries, which are a Chinese red berry, which are really high in protein and also really good for the blood, and some Damiana, which is a nice nerve tonic. So I've made this decoction, and what I'm going to do is put this into the pot. I'm going to add in some sugar, not too much sugar because I don't want it to be too sweet, but I'm going to also add in a little bit of stevia powder to add the sweetness. So I just didn't want to have so much sugar in there. I'm also going to put in a bit of fruit, a bit of fresh apple, some rose petals to give it a little bit of colour and flavour, a little bit of cinnamon powder, a little bit of rose water, and a bit of vanilla essence, okay, which all just give it a bit of flavour and make it a bit more palatable and more enticing. So it's pretty easy, just adding the decoction into the pot, adding in the sugar, and I'm going to have to turn the stove on in a minute. So this takes about half an hour to prepare because you've got to wait for the sugar to dissolve. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to use some agar powder and a little bit of pectin as a gelling and setting agent, because in normal jam making there's a lot of sugar used. I don't want to use so much sugar because it's way too much sugar. So we need these two things to help make it set so that it forms and it becomes nice and thick rather than just runny. With the decoction, what I've done is I've simmered the herbs, as I said, for about 45 minutes, and then I've strained them off and filtered them through, just to get out any residue or any little grungy bits that might be in there. Okay, so I put the sugar into the liquid. I'm going to add in the rose petals so that they start to cook, and I'm going to leave the rose petals in there so that you can they'll be ingested when the jam is done. Now with the apple, it's just pretty easy. I'm just going to slice it up, and the cinnamon and the rose water and the vanilla essence I'll add in right now at the beginning. You can also add in a bit of lemon juice because that's a sort of standard practice when making jams, just to add a little bit of pectin in there, and also for a bit of flavour. The amount of rose water and vanilla essence and cinnamon powder is completely up to you. Just depends on your taste, how much you like, and what sort of flavour you want to achieve. So I guess that just comes with practice. Why not? And with the stevia powder, you don't need to use very much because it's very, very, very sweet. So I'm going to probably only use about equivalent of about a couple of teaspoons. So now that just has to cook for about half an hour, and then towards the end I'll add in the pectin and the agar powder, dissolve them through, and then let it cool and put it in a jar. Voila, finished.